Hi, this is Sandy with STS Digital and the Accord Sequarallel. Today's video is on the new layer sequencer StepFX probability. So to demonstrate this, I'll use an easy method to get a lot of random notes into a layer, the CV input to notes function. An LFO signal will go into the CC6 through an inline attenuator. And CC5 CV input will be used to remote control the probability of layer notes for step 1. So this RTEM will act as a voltage source from 0 to 5 volts for the probability from 1% to 100%. So first, let's use a TRAX tracker to indicate tempo by loading an existing drum sequence from another song. To load an existing drum sequence, we'll use the preview method in the playlist. So adding a TRAX 1 letter A. Arm it. Now to load it with something. As a side note, when you just want to preview the drums, the TRAX letter should be set up for channel 10, so only drum sequences come into the search. All the other channels will load otherwise, except for channel 10. Okay, exit back to the playlist. I'll hit play so we can hear. Reusing Add New on the existing block allows for selection of a drum sequence for letter A. I want something simple. This one is good. Okay, back to the tutorial. In MIDI Push QuickBox, let's set CC6 input to generate MIDI notes on voltage change. By itself, without a gate, the minimal update rate is half the clock rate, so 1/8 note. You can hear the random notes we'll record in. Add a layer. For clarity and lack of control, let's do a one-shot recording. Let's just record 4 bars for time's sake. There it is. Now for another layer from the same source. So quantizing will organize the randomness a bit. As mentioned in a previous video, the CV input can be quantized to a scale in SongFX as well as transposed, but that can be done after the recording as well. Recording the raw notes maximizes the scaling possibilities though. In SongFX 1, I'll set everything to a minor 7 scale. That sounds better. So now we have 2 layers of random notes being quantized to the minor 7 scale. Time to show off the new probability setting. On the way there, let's configure CC5 input to control that using the learn function. Each step has its own probability, but a CV remote will only control 1 for obvious reasons. Here's a preview. and it's in. The rhythm will now set the probability of all layers in step 1 in real time. So there it is, probability. This is getting boring. Let's use another song effects. Always add an extra loop to remove, as the default empty song is 96 bars and we only want 8 total, so the last one you just don't use. By the way, there's MIDI playing alongside a pair of VCOs if you're wondering about the voices. Because the layer recordings of inherently random notes from CV were only 4 bars long, it begins to kind of sound a bit cohesive after a while. Now in SongFX 2, I'll change the scale to major 7 and transpose it. Did you notice that SongFX number 1 was copied into SongFX number 2? This is for convenience and saves a bit of setting up. This is done when loops are created. So transposing both. There. One interesting thing to do when playing around with a variable probability is use ARPs from those channels with the latch turned on. If the ARP continues, it may not get updated the same way each time because the notes aren't getting played. Let's output this to channel 3, which is a harpsichord. Always a nice raunchy sound. Oops, this is a bit too dense. Okay, so reducing the probability. The same probability can work with several layer letters and on other channels. I'll change the CV input to make notes on channel 2. Yep, pretty chaotic. Better record it in so we can get rid of that. Channel 2 is a piano, I guess. Sounds better. More layers means lower probability settings to thin it out. You can see how this could become interesting. So the 1/8 time quantization has been turning clusters of notes into chords. A faster quant will separate them some. This has all been making arpeggiations, so it's still fairly thick. I'll turn the order back to stack and we'll hear the actual notes. Okay, I'll mute the drums. CV MIDI glides can be cool to use with probability as well, but I'll let you try that out for yourself. I hope this video has familiarized you with the new layer probability. Well, after this long, it's highly probable, right? Until next time, thanks for watching.